Hi, my name is Hanna. I am from Lexington and I work at the middle school. If you're lucky today, you might hear screechy clarinets coming from down below me. I think the beginning classes are playing today, and this I'm recording at school, so bear with that extra beauty coming through. So right now, I want to talk to you about Destiny Collections. I'm a beginner, so this will be pretty basic. So if those of you have already used this, this might not be a whole lot new. So after you are logged in, which you need to be in order to create a collection, you'll click up on the top where it says Collections. And when this page opens, you will see that you have the option to create what will be a featured, public, or private collection. I always leave my draft ones in private until they're ready to go. So I would recommend, I guess, that you would do the same. And right below that tab, you're going to click on Create Collection. I'm going to call my collection just Ancient Egypt because we've got some history classes that are working on that right now. And what I want to provide them with is just some additional resources. So I am also going to add in my grades and the subject area. You also have an option of creating like a title page, and you can type in the title, you can change the color background, or you can load a picture. Whoops, I did that the wrong way, excuse me. I'm going to click Upload Image, and from there I can choose my picture from my desktop, and you can just easily shrink this down using your mouse, and then I will click on Create Collection. And you can see now that we basically have a digital folder now that will house our different resources that we want to make available to students. You simply will click on this plus sign, and you can add a lot of different things. Like I said, this is just pretty basic overview, so I'm just going to talk about one, the URL, and I have a few links here that I have found that I think we'll be using for our research. So I'm just going to copy those links and I'm going to paste them in. This one is one I want the kids to be able to access, so I will just leave it as a link and click Add URL, and there it is. And so kids would be able to come in, click on that link, and go directly to that resource. To add additional ones, you'll look for that plus sign again, and I've got a few other links, so I'm going to add those as well. You do exactly the same thing, just paste that URL in there and add it. And I'm going to do another. I'll paste that in there as well. And I'm going to click the plus sign again. And this time I'm going to add this one, and those are the last of my, I guess, just research pages. And then this last one is a video. Whoops, that's not the video one. Well, let me show you in just a minute what you do with a video. So I'm going to copy that and paste that URL in as well. I think I must have already pasted the video. So, no, I maybe didn't. So I'm going to find a video quick. Okay, and I obviously would look through this and make sure that it's a good one. I'll use this one for now. So you're going to import this the same way you did the other links. You're just gonna this time be copying a video link. So I'm gonna X out of this before it starts playing for you, and I'll come back and add that as a video. And I wanted to show you that because If this is a video a teacher is planning to use as part of the lesson, doesn't necessarily need kids to access this on their own, but maybe they want to show it and then use it as a teaching tool, then I will mark here for instructor use only. That way it's collected it for the instructor just for their convenience, even though it's not going to be able to be viewed by students. So I will add that one. And now we can take a look at the ones that we have included. And you can see right below the picture, it tells you what type of item you have loaded. So I have these 2 articles showing on top. And as I go down, this one is a web page with a lot of different things to click into. So is this one. And then we have an article from a newspaper. And then this one is marked as a video. And you can see right above that, compared to the other ones, there is not an icon there, but here we have the icon of the teacher. So that's the indication that that item is for teachers only, or viewable to teachers only. So there I have just the basic, a very basic collection, and you kind of get the idea of how that works. So I will need to then share it. So I'm going to click on my little sharing icon thing here. And I'm going to change it to anyone with a link can view, because I want students and anybody to be able to see it. And then as far as people go, oh, and I want to show you this real quick too. You can add that right from here to your Google Classroom or to your Gmail. So it's very easy to go from here to share it out with kids. So then I can choose my people. And what I like about this is that anybody can see it who has the link. But if I want teachers to be able to really collaborate with me and we're both building it with different pieces of information, I'm going to enter the teacher's email here. And I'm going to put can edit. That way he is able to be a part of curating this collection with me. And from there, I'm going to put done. One other thing I'm going to do with this now, I'm going to go to my settings on this little folder, and I'm going to change down here where I said private. You can change it to people at your school being able to see it, anybody in your district, or you can make it so that so it's public. There have been a lot of other people that have curated really awesome collections that I have used a lot of, and so I think this is helpful for you to be able to kind of share back as well. So I'm going to put it as public and save. And I'm going to go back to home. It seems to me that I have a couple library books that I think might be really good for this project. So I'm going to come back to my Destiny homepage. And I'm just going to type Ancient Egypt up there in my search bar. Okay. And you can see if a student typed that in, they could see if they're logged in as part of our school, they could see books, collections, websites, databases, all of these things that we have access to through Lexington Middle School. And I did have a book. So here is a title, 1000 Facts About Ancient Egypt. I'll choose that one. And so I click on the title to open up this additional information page, and I can click on the 3 little dots here and add to collection. And then I'm going to choose the collection of mine that I want it to be added to, and I'm going to choose Ancient Egypt. So that is pretty simple, and we'll just go back here and oh, it looks like there's another one I'd like to do. And again, click on those, whoops, I've got to click on the title first. Click on the title, then I will click on those 3 dots and add to collection. I'm going to add it to Ancient Egypt, and that is all there is to it. So I'm going to go back in now to, let me just go back to home. And you can see now that the collections are available right here. And if I'm on the home page, That is not what I have as my featured content, so that is not going to show up at the top. However, if I was teaching that lesson and wanted to make sure it was on the page that students first access when they go into Destiny, I can put it here. I have other things I want to feature right now instead. So kids right now would need to go into collections, and they can see anything that is public, which mine now is, and so they would look for my name, or I could have that link that they sent to their Google Classroom and they could go directly to it. So now when they go into this Ancient Egypt collection, as I scroll down, you can also see that these 2 books were added. And so when you click there, you will see that it will take them back to Destiny Discover to access that record so they can figure out where to find it in the library. And here it is. We've got the call number right there so they can go into the nonfiction and find that one. All right, one more thing back in collections I want to show you. If you had something, by the way, while this is loading, that you just wanted your students to see, I would suggest noting this can be viewed by people in my building who have the link. That way the Lex Schools tag on their Gmail address would identify them as users in this system, and they could access what they needed, and it wouldn't necessarily be something that would be out there for everybody in the world. But for that reason, because we do have some specifically curated content, logging in would be advantageous for the kids. So when I am in collections here, we see my few attempts are appear at the top. And as I go down, there are tons, absolutely tons of public collections that are available. And some of them have really built up collections, 143 items, and you can just scroll all the way through and you can see a lot of different names of people that have contributed. So I think that's pretty cool. Also, if I wanted to get some other ideas about ancient Egypt that maybe I didn't think of, but some other brilliant librarians someplace did, I can type in ancient Egypt into that collection search bar and look at this. All of these people have created collections about ancient Egypt. We've got a few other things, China, Greece, ancient culture anyway, but there are many that have things that would likely be very useful for us too. So I can click in there, find items that might be helpful. And then, so let me show you, if I went into this ancient Egypt one, I am going to choose not their books, because we don't necessarily have those books in our collection, but hopefully I picked one that has something more than books. Okay, here's a web page. So this is artwork from Egypt in Met Kids. Britannica, we don't have a subscription to Britannica here at the middle school. Khan Academy. So there are a lot of different things here that we could choose. I'll choose Discovery Education. I'll click here. And I'm getting an error, whoops. I will choose something else. Okay. All books. I picked a bad one. Let me go back to collections for just a minute. It's not a bad one. It just doesn't include the resources that I might be able to borrow. So I'll come back to ancient Egypt. I'm going to have all those collections that others have developed. I'm just going to start at the beginning this time. Okay, here's a page about the Rosetta Stone. So I can click on those three little dots and I can copy it to my ancient Egypt collection. So pretty slick, right? I don't even have to go to the web page. I can just get it. So I click here on those three dots, copy to ancient Egypt. And then if I go back to my collections, you will see that that one has been added. So here's my ancient Egypt. And they usually just go in the order that you have listed them in. And so here is the one about Rosetta Stone. And you can see that's a web page, likely with a video since it says YouTube. And you can also change the view over here a little bit. You can have a scattered view, grid view. List view is quite a lot different, but kind of interesting too. So you can just do different things as far as the display of this. You can also teach kids how to filter so that they're looking at specific types of information, or if you want to find just the ones that you had marked for instructor use only, teachers can log in or you can log in and look for this and view those results.